Hi, my name is Courtney Unruh. This is my case study for AEP 858 titled Everyday Counts. So here is the case. We have Mr. Rhodes, a new principal at Golden Oak High School, where 659 out of their 965 students have missed 10 or more days of school in the first semester. So his goal is to improve the student attendance rate, and he has chosen to do that by focusing on 5 students who have struggled with attendance during the first semester. So let's look at those 5 students. First, we have Karen. She's an 11th grader who was formerly an AB student and was inducted into the National Honor Society last year. She got married in August, and since then we have noticed that she has missed Mondays and Fridays periodically. She recently missed midterms, and as her attendance has declined, her grades have started slipping. Her parents have requested a conference, but there has been a lack of follow through from the counselor. Tyrone is a 10th grade honor student who has missed 14 days in the first semester. All of these, or most of these days, have been documented days, 5 of them for a work trip with his mother to Washington, D.C., and 5 days for a trip to Canada with his father. All absences have been excused by his homeroom teacher, and his parents have reported that he would have education experiences on these trips. Christina is a 9th grader who has missed 4 days in a row in at least 3 different weeks this semester. These absences have been signed off by her minister, asking her to be excused for out-of-town church meetings, and her homeroom teacher has excused all of these absences. Her algebra teacher has stated that she missed 2 major exams and has requested a conference with her parents. We have Carl, who is a 10th grader who is taking regular classes in the morning and then is transported to vocational classes in the afternoon. He has missed quite a number of days and has been assigned a truant officer who recently made a home visit and reported that his parents don't support strong education. His father didn't finish school and told Carl that he doesn't have to either and can join him in the workforce whenever. And then finally, we have John, who is an 11th grader. He is the quarterback of the school's football team and suffered an injury early on in the season and needed physical therapy twice a week in order to remain part of the team. The physical therapy appointments are Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at 2:30, and the athletic director has also requested that he have Friday afternoons off to rest before the games. So while he is missing 3 afternoons a week, his teachers are also not reporting absences as excessive. So there's some concerns involved in this case. We have some parents who are not supporting student attendance and adhering to school policies. Teachers are not accurately reporting attendance and are excusing absences without administration consent. We have an athletic director who is favoring athletes and encouraging regularly missed school days. And then the guidance counselor who is lacking some follow through for communication between different stakeholders. So let's look at the school policy and the state policy. The common law states that parents have a duty to educate their child, and the state can require them to do so and intervene when necessary. The school policy that's in place currently is that parents must explain the cause of absences. Excused absences could be for a number of reasons, including illness, death of a family member, inclement weather, or any other reason approved by the principal. Teachers are responsible for accurately recording attendance, and then there's also some deductions of points after 5 unexcused absences. We can clearly see some legal and ethical issues with this case. The athletic director is favoring athletes and supporting their absences from school. The teachers are not documenting the absences correctly and not following school policies about reasons for excusing absences. The principal should be the one approving those absences. The parents are not communicating absences and not supporting the importance of attendance at school. And then the guidance counselor is not communicating and following through with requests for conferences between students, parents, and teachers. So just to sum up the case, a significant number of stakeholders are not following school policies regarding attendance, which is causing a decrease in attendance and student academic achievement at Golden Oak High School. So let's go over the facts. We have a new principal who needs to improve the attendance at his school. The teachers are not following the attendance policy and reporting. The athletic director is supporting athlete absences and not following the attendance policy. The counselor is lacking communication with other stakeholders about attendance and academics. We have students missing school for various reasons. We have parents supporting the lack of attendance of students, and we have community members scheduling events for students to attend during the day. And the big question is, do these teachers and students and parents and community members know the policy? Do they know the importance of having their kids in school and how that affects academics? So we need to get to know where we're at a little bit. The Golden Oaks High School serves 965 students in a public 9th through 12th grade high school in a suburban area located close to a large metropolitan city. Most of the families are middle income, and previously it's had some low diversity, but there's an increasing number of Hispanic and Asian families. The school offers lots of extracurricular activities like sports and clubs. They have an honors program and an option to attend a vocational program as well. We're lacking some information on what academic support programs might be in place for students and how that might affect attendance and academics at school as well. So let's prioritize the information. Could the conflict, the situation, or the decision be damaging to stakeholders or to the community? Yes. Students are continuing to miss school, so they're going to continue to miss out on these educational experiences that will propel them into the future. They're also creating a habit of missing right now their job, which is school, which could then carry over to when they do enter into that workforce. What individuals and groups have an important stake in the outcome? Lots of people. The school personnel need to complete attendance according to the policy that's been set in place. Staff members need to communicate with parents the importance of attendance. Parents have a responsibility to make sure their children attend school, and the new principal needs to make sure everyone's being held accountable for this change to happen. Have all the relevant stakeholders been consulted? We need some more information about this, and we need some more communication between all the stakeholders to ensure that the importance of attendance is explained. Can I learn more about the situation? I believe yes, there is some missing information that could be pertinent to understanding the situation. For instance, is there demographic or perceptual data that could be gained to learn more about the attendance problem? Or really, have all the school personnel been made aware of the attendance policy? Maybe we just need to train and inform the staff. Do we know enough to make a decision? There is enough information to begin creating a plan, but I think more information should be gathered while continuing through this process. So what are some options? There's a couple options we could take, one being no action. We could communicate with teachers, parents, and students, or we could take disciplinary action. So let's look at all of those. If we choose to take no action, that's a pretty easy choice. No change is made, the students still suffer, the principal's job could be jeopardized, and the school could be in jeopardy. If we choose to communicate, would require stakeholders to gain a better understanding of the attendance policy and the importance of school. Could stir some conflict, and it just may not increase attendance. If we take disciplinary action, the principal would enforce the attendance policy with discipline. This would maybe be discipline for teachers or students. Conflict is quite possible, and it could cause some issues with teacher turnover and losing students. So I think the best option would be to create an improvement plan that kind of combines a couple of those responses. So staff would need to be involved in this process to make sure that there is buy-in to the plan. It would give time for more data to be collected. Like we stated, there were some missing pieces. and it could allow for staff input to be included when amending that attendance policy. We would need to ensure that all school personnel are informed and trained in the attendance policy, and then we need to make sure we are communicating over and over again that policy and the importance of attending school and show why that's important. So some pros to this option is that we have staff buy-in and involvement in the process. The teachers, we can ensure that they understand the process and why it's important. We can make sure everyone understands the policy and the consequences, and it does have the potential for some long-lasting change and effects. Some negatives or cons would be it's going to be time consuming and we're not going to see that change happen immediately. It's going to take time and it's going to be a process. So if we take action, here's what it will look like. I think it would be good to start by forming a group of teachers and staff members to work together to analyze data, look at the current attendance policy, and decide, do we need more data to be collected that would be necessary? When thinking about the additional data, I think the next thing we need to do is survey teachers. We need their input on attendance, but we also need to know, what do they know? What do they know about the current policy? I think it would be good to also survey students, parents, and community members about that as well, and maybe get their perceptions on education so we can kind of see what we're up against. The next step would be to update and redraft the attendance plan and policy if necessary. Maybe it's just that everyone needs to be informed, but maybe there is some changes that need to be made. And so then step number 4 would be to inform and train all school personnel of the attendance policy and the consequences for not following that plan. And throughout this process, we should also be reiterating the importance of attendance and its effects on education. Once we train school personnel, we need to make this information accessible to parents, students, and community members, both in person and digitally. We need to give them this information through handouts, letters, through community forums, any way we can to get that information in their hand more than once. And then we need to finally monitor and enforce the new policy that has been put into place while adjusting when new data is gathered. If that doesn't work and we need some additional steps or some changes, I would continue to gather that additional information and looking at additional reasons for absences. So gather more information about different students. I would continue to stress the importance of education and attendance to parents, students, and community members, just making sure everyone is on the same page about why this is important. And then finally, I would reiterate and re-go over the importance of proper reporting of attendance for teachers and staff members. And hopefully we see the change happen. These are the program standards that have been we've been going over and we've addressed with this case study. Thank you.